What's going on, everyone? It's day 2 of the NFL draft. Grant Cohn here, Coach Noah Johnston. Niners pick Trey Lance. They have 2 more picks today. As it stands, we're going to talk about those picks, but first we want to look back at the quarterback, Trey Lance. Coach was just telling me an interesting fact because I've been a little negative about the historical success rate of first-round quarterbacks, and you have an interesting, split stat.
Yes, I think that, and I talk about this a lot. If you look back into when the targeting rule was instituted, which is in 2017, the success rate of first-round quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, has actually jumped up. It's actually, I'll read the names off to you, and you tell me if the quarterback that pick has been successful. So, 2017 will start off with Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Trubisky.
No.
Okay. Next year, Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Josh Rosen.
No.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Sam Darnold.
No.
Baker Mayfield.
Jury's out.
Jury's
out. Could go
either
way. Could go either way. I'm not going to write him off. I'm not going to say yes or no, but he could be. He could be a yes. A possible yes. A soft yes.
Okay. Dwayne Haskins.
No.
Daniel Jones.
No.
Kyler Murray.
Looking like a yes. I guess him and Baker are kind of looking like yeses.
I would say yeses. I think starting, they're not superstars, but they're starting quarterbacks that you fill a team around them and they can operate.
I'll give yeses to both Baker and Kyler in that case.
Okay. So last year, Jordan Love.
No. Well, I mean, not yet.
Who knows?
We haven't seen it. We don't know. Who knows? Yeah, we don't know.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Tua.
No.
And Joe Burrow.
Hard to say.
I mean, if
he got hurt, I'm not going to put it against. I'm not going to say he underwhelmed. He got hurt quick.
If Joe Burrow is yes, then that's 8 out of 14.
Fair enough. And if he's a no, then that's 7 out of 14. Either way, it's about
50%. And okay. in any with any of these picks, if I gave you 50%,
right,
that's.
And I was thinking it was more like 25%. But what you're saying is because of this targeting rule, the middle of the field is wide open. It's easier to play quarterback for a lot of reasons. This being one of them.
It's especially for a young quarterback because when they're getting used to the NFL game, speed of the game, and all of that. They need a certain comfort level. The easiest throw for any quarterback is in the middle field. They can see it right away, and it's an easier throw. So since that's been wide open, it makes things a lot easier for young quarterbacks. And I think that picking a young quarterback, it's in this day and age. I think it's a great option. I think it goes right back to what you've been saying all along, which is get a young quarterback, get him on the rookie deal. You know what? If it doesn't work, do it again.
You see, Bucky Brooks wrote that article. He was he said the Ravens shouldn't re-sign Lamar Jackson. They should draft another quarterback and just let him graduate and just treat it like a college program. Yeah. I mean, if you're not sold on him, you don't have to give a guy $150 million or more.
Right. No, I'm right there with you. I think if the guy's not a superstar, then just move on from him.
Because you don't want to do the Jared Goff thing, the Carson Wentz thing. You don't want to do that.
No, don't do that. Move on. Yeah. Yeah. And if he is a good talent, guess what? Someone's going to give you something. Even with Wentz, look at the ROI on him. They got a second and a third. If Lance doesn't work out, someone's going to look at him and be like, "Oh, well, I can turn that around. Give me that. I'll give you a 2 and 3."
Yeah, if you're not sold, just pick up the 5th-year option and trade him.
Yeah,
easy enough. But it seems like Trey Lance he's got all the physical gifts that most of the successful quarterbacks the last 4 years have had.
Yeah, I would not pick a guy in the top 3 without the arm talent. That's just my belief. It's part of my personal way I would risk mitigate is I'm taking all the guys with B arms out, not select. He's got all the tools.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's another thing. People are talking about what a match in New England. I think people forget to play out here in the East in the winter. You need an arm. That's why Josh Cohn was so key for the Bills. Like, I don't know how Max will hold up in November and December when there's rain and snow and it's cold.
All right. So that's a good segue into our next topic. Most people want the Niners to do wide receiver, cornerback in round 2, but let's stay on theme. You're saying basically this rule change in 2017 that opened up the middle of the field has changed the sport. It's made it easier to draft and develop quarterbacks. And what is the response on defense? And what is the move the Niners should make in round 2?
Yeah. I've been a big proponent of this all along. Different game now, middle of the field open. I think that watching tape on especially these quarterbacks and offensive talent in this past offseason, you see like all these offense corners, they're all attacking middle of the field. They're all attacking linebacker and safety matchups. Like when I'm going through these corners, I'm looking for, let me see. I want to see like Tony get, I want to see these guys on these corners, but no, they're attacking the safeties and they're attacking the linebackers. Like that's where they're getting all their bulk of their big plays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's stressing the importance of coverage linebackers and safeties that can match up against slot receivers, tight ends, and backs that can catch the football. With that being said, and all of the safeties are on the board in round 2 right now, I think the Niners should address safety. Remember, Ward and Tart are both guys that have an injury past. So more than likely, one of them or both of them are going to get hurt this season and be out for some time. I don't necessarily trust the depth behind it. I know a lot of people like Moore, but we've seen him. He's got his own issues, not necessarily with injuries, but tackling. And not only that, is Tart's also on a 1-year deal, so you need to prepare for if he does have a big year and you can't pay to replace him. So I think that'll be. Oh, and on top of all that, I think this class is a pretty good class. So I think there's an opportunity for the Niners to possibly get the best safety on the board and shore that up.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of research on the safeties. You have. I'm looking here on CBS. It seems like there's a bunch of guys in the top 75. There's 7 in the top 75, and then it kind of falls off after that. So if the Niners want to get a quality safety, they either need to take one here at 43 or maybe move up in round 3, which may not be that easy to do. So maybe this is the spot for a safety, and in which case, like you said, all of them are available. Do you have like a personal ranking of the safeties, or do you feel that strongly in any way?
I like Teron Morig out of TCU.
Okay.
Big safety, 6'2", 200. I think on most boards he's the top safety. Other people have other guys, and
most people don't expect him to be there at 43, right? Like they have him here at 17 on CBS.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on.
He ran a 4.5 at his pro day, but that was with a sore back. So he runs
4.5 is not
better
slow.
than that.
I run a 4.5.
No, 4.5 is not slow. His film plays. It seems like he's faster than that.
Yeah, me too.
He plays in that TCU defense, which is heavy palms stuff. He's an all-around guy. He covers really well. He can tackle. I personally like him. Richie Grant is another guy that I watched at UCF. Like when you watch him, he's all over the field. Like he's in on almost every play. It's like Richie Grant. He's all over.
Is he better than the corner in that secondary, Aaron Robinson?
They're different players, for different needs. I think Aaron Robinson is really good. I think I don't know if people know this, but I think he was an original Alabama, and he transferred there to USF. So I think that secondary down in USF was actually really good. It kind of sucks that they all like opted out and didn't play versus Zach Wilson, because that would have been nice to see. Yeah. But I think Aaron Robinson is a very good corner. Just for the Niners, and I know this is a part of this safety conversation, I think they need an outside corner, not necessarily the nickel.
Sure. And you think Robinson's more of a nickel? And they use him that way more there, but he's like 6'4".
Yeah, I think so. You touched on this before, but I think they need a big outside corner.
Okay, so Richie Grant, if he's available, is a hell of a pick. And then after that, you got the guy from Bishop O'Dowd High School, my alma mater, Javon Holland. Tell me something good about him.
Javon Holland, is that the
Oregon?
I wasn't able to catch his tape.
Well, he's phenomenal. I haven't seen his tape either though.
He's from Bishop O'Dowd.
Yeah, he's from O'Dowd, so you already know. The
awesome.
pedigree is it's fantastic.
Yeah.
They have good options, and probably he'll be there because they have him as like in the 50s. So if Richie Grant's available, great. If not, maybe they'll go BPA in a different direction. But Richie Grant would be a great pick.
Jamar Johnson. I mean, Jamar Johnson. He's got some tackling issues, but he was one of the guys that gave Fields some problems. He was playing some mind games with Fields and gave him some problems. I think the other TCU guy, Ardarius Washington, he's a little undersized. I think he's like 5'9" or whatever, but he makes plays. So there's definitely options. It depends. I don't know what the Niners board looks like. If I could get Trevon Moehrig right now, I would. If they've got ammunition to move up if they want. I mean, they do 5th-round picks.
They do. Yes.
They don't need to use all those. All those guys are probably not going to make the roster, right?
Trade package 2 of those fists with the 3rd, move up a little bit. Move up 5, 10, 15 spots.
I think and I think guys like, I know that, for instance, that a guy like Richie Grant, he's a little bit like Ward in that they do use him in various different ways. He can play a slot receiver. He's done it a little bit there. So I mean, if they're looking in that mold, that's a guy that they can look at.
Renee says, who would you pick, Trevon Moehrig or Kenneth Gainwell, running back Memphis?
Moehrig.
I don't running back on day 2.
No, listen. I know you have your quality control meetings, but if you can bring Kyle now, Kyle, do not take a wide receiver in round 2.
Round take 3. A wide receiver. Do not take a running back.
Don't take a defensive tackle. Do not take a defensive.
Okay. Now let's stick with round 2. I like the idea of safety, but let's say that Richie Grant and Trevon Moehrig are off the board, and the Niners feel like there are better players than Javon Holland, and they want to go BPA. And there's other positions in need because there clearly are. So we've talked corner a lot. Obviously, if Tyson Campbell's available, you like him. No?
I do like Tyson. I liked the other Georgia corner because I think when the ball was in when ball action got toward him, Tyson seemed to not be able to make not even that he wouldn't pick the ball off. He allowed.
You're saying he's Chris Culliver. He's a good athlete who can't get the ball. You're saying he's Chris Culliver, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's not what you want. That's fair. It's a good criticism.
What jumped off to me about the other Georgia corner is that he could make the play. Like he could come off of and pick a ball off. He was a playmaker. So
yeah, I felt like Campbell's a hell of an athlete, but so is Chris Culliver. If you can't find the ball, like great, you were right there, but they made the catch. So I see what you're saying. Okay, corner. How about this though? It's looking to me like there's a lot of good offensive linemen available. A lot of them. They could get Wyatt Davis at 43. They could get Landon Dickerson at 43, Creed Humphrey. They could get like starting guards that could move to center. I would consider that.
I wouldn't hate on that. I mean, there's a couple things like outside of the secondary, the other things that I wouldn't hate on or I would be okay with is either edge rusher or
edge rusher, of course.
I only say the edge rusher because I think there's value there with the Georgia kid still being on the board.
Oh yeah, let's talk about him real quick. If you don't know, there's this guy Azeez Ojulari who's still available, who may not be there at 43, but he's a stud, right?
Yes. There's because I'm personal belief like there's three major things you need. You need a quarterback. You need a pass protector. You need a pass rusher. Like those are premium positions. If a guy's that, even though they've pretty much filled out edge rusher, if that guy's there, you take him.
You need a coverage guy too. That's 4. I'm just gonna add 4.
I'm not gonna say 4. I think
you need 4. To me, it's like the 4 corners. The 4 corners of the chessboard. Yep.
Coverage. You need coverage guys too. But I mean, I think it's a premium position. If the edge guy is there and he's that much better than the next guy, forget need, just go get him and wrap it up. But yeah,
I don't necessarily expect Ojulari to be there at 43. If he is, that's an easy one. That's an easy pick. Richie Grant, if he's there, that's an easy pick. But if not, and if you're looking at guys that are sort of projected to be there in the mid-40s, I think Wyatt Davis from Ohio State would be a hell of a pick. I mean, nothing against Daniel Brunskill, but how much have we really seen from him at right guard? How confident can we really be in Daniel Brunskill? I like Daniel Brunskill a lot, but maybe another guy would be good. I don't really like Laken Tomlinson that much. He's getting older.
No, the thing about the offensive lineman, I think Kyle he seems like really about his offensive lineman. Like if you can't execute outside zone at a high level, he's not interested in you.
That's true. That is true.
Regardless of whether else you can do. You could be the best pass pro offensive lineman. If you can't execute that play, there's zero interest in you.
Then he's going to run you out of town for Mike McGlinchey, who's the exact opposite of you.
And in fairness, like maybe it was great that he did pay for Trent Williams because he does get the outside zone play out of that, and he does get pass protection.
True.
Like because if we didn't have Trent Williams, like Kyle might have just put any guy out there. But yeah, he
would have put Cole McKivitz out there because he fit the run scheme.
Yeah,
he said that last year. We were cool with Colton. Yeah, great. Okay, so like some realistic options are the safeties we mentioned, the corners we mentioned, the offensive linemen we mentioned. Any prediction of not what they should do, but knowing Kyle and what he's all about and how he might have been overruled in round one, possibly, maybe, unless he's telling the truth that he always liked Trey. What's he gonna do here? Is he gonna take a running back? No, he's not gonna take a running back.
I mean, if the past is any indication of the present picture, then I think we run it. What wide receiver or like
Brown
or some?
Here's the thing: if they take any one of these guys from North Carolina, people are going to be so happy. I'm going to be like, well, yeah, I like Michael Carter, but
I actually watched Jamar Brown against Ifeatu. How do you say his name? Ifeatu Melifonwu
yes, Ifeatu Melifonwu.
All of the set because Syracuse has like 3 guys in the secondary that are going to get drafted. And he did the Syracuse corner Melifonwu.
I think his older brother's in the Niners right now.
Yeah, his older brother's on the Niners. He held his ground against Brown. So and I watched him also against Clemson.
That's my prediction is that the Niners take Melifonwu because they already have his brother and he's 6'3". He's the 6'3" corner in this draft. That's great.
The thing I also like about him is I think the way you can risk mitigate is if you can't play corner, just move him to safety. Because I think he doesn't have an issue. He doesn't have an issue coming up and tackling. That's one thing. He'll come up and he does not have issue with that. He's a corner.
So instead of drafting a corner and a safety, just draft this guy.
You could. I mean, that would save you. You could do that. You could draft 2 corners and this guy being one of them and like, hey, return you to safety. I almost speculate that they might move his brother to corner because his brother is like the opposite. His brother doesn't really have an interest in playing physical.
So you already see that they're looking for that big corner. They have the brother on the team. Why not have them both be on the team? They could be roommates, bunkmates.
Sure. But the only issue is, are you going to keep the other brother on the team? Are you planning on cutting him?
Oh yeah, we only have one Melifonwu. Fight for it. Only one Melifonwu jersey. Sorry, who's going to be?
We ran out of W's.
Oklahoma drill. Sorry. All right, so now we got round 3. The Niners pick 102, which is a little bit lower than you'd like. You'd like to move up. They have some picks. They got 3 in round 5, which each one's worth about 20 points, so they can move up maybe 10 slots. So we can look in that whole range of late 80s to early 100s. Basically the same positions here, or would you be more open to a wide receiver running back in round 3? I wouldn't. I think that'd be irresponsible.
No, my take on wide receivers and running backs is there's all the drafts are so deep in them. I think
deep.
I think wide receiver is going to be deep almost every year because that's where the talent is. Like coaching high school, the guys that played the best talent now, they play wide receiver. Then they move up they get recruited at wide receiver. That's where the talent is going. Like you're always going to have talent at that position. So
yes,
drafting there high when you have, especially when you have other needs, it's.
But like, how many good safeties are there really in a draft?
No,
right?
Exactly. And this is a good. You're not going to get the value in other drafts you're going to get here. This is a good draft for safety, especially right here in this middle range. And it's a very deep corner draft. So, like, if you want to address corner and you need to address safety, you should do it now.
I mean, if they doubled up in the secondary, second round, third round, I would applaud that. I think that would be the coolest thing.
Your business is probably you'll get shut down because how are you gonna complain about the Niners then? If
I know. All I'll be doing is they're so good. I'm so impressed. All they do is because I'll just like take it as a compliment. Like, oh, they listen to me. They value my input. No, they don't. No, they don't. Matt H says cornerback should feel like a dire need. Yeah. Who currently do we have at cornerback 2? Ken Webster, Tim Harris? Well, Emmanuel Mosley, but your point taken. Do you see anyone currently on the roster competing for cornerback 2? Well, what about Mosley? You just totally forgot about Mosley. I like Mosley, but you can't necessarily count on like a great 17-game season from him.
Their starters are fine. It's the problem is their depth behind them. And I mean, when I say starters, I'm talking about even Kwan too in the nickel because the nickel back plays more than your third linebacker now.
Right.
But your starters are fine. But the problem is the depth behind that. Like, and every single starter has had issues being injured. I mean, Mosley is probably the least injured out of all of them, and even then, he's been out with injuries. So, like,
also Mosley's borderline. He's borderline. He finished up the season on the bench, and Akello was playing. I'm just saying they could upgrade.
No, yeah. Mosley's a guy that you could see if a rookie came in and was outstanding, like he could easily pass Mosley.
Yeah, and then, no question.
And Mosley would then be a solid backup.
Great backup. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do think they should address the corner safety in round 3. I think. I think that's a need. I know the Bucs did it a couple years ago. I think they picked like 4. They picked it out of the secondary like 4 different times.
I like that.
I remember going to a coaches conference one time and this on with Jack Hammer. There was a coach. He was talking about if you're going up against a team and there's a problem, like just nuke it. Like like if you got a mouse problem, like literally nuke the mouse. Like just send everything at it. And I think that's the same. If you need to address a spot, like nuke. Like,
3 picks.
You need corners and secondaries. Just take. This is a draft full of them. So like. Take it 3 times.
Right, because acknowledge the fact that it's an exact science and you might get it wrong. If you take 3 picks, at least you might not get it wrong 3 times. Tony says, rank these guys. Trill Williams, Benjamin St. Juste, Tay Gowan. I can't rank any of them. Can you?
Trill, I was watching tape on him. I think he was hurt later in the year, so I saw a little bit of him on the field against North Carolina. They use him in the slot a lot, it seems. And
I see.
He's like 6'2". I'd probably go Tay, Trill, St. Juste.
Okay. All right. There you go, Tony. That's what he's got. Noah's got you. Does Shanny take a day 3 quarterback like he did on Washington, just in case Jimmy is traded and Lance gets injured during the season? How many quarterbacks do the Niners have on their team right now? They got at least 4.
Right?
I had 4, yeah.
I had actually thought about that as an interesting take, and it ties into what I just said, would it be that terrible? Like, what if the Niners also took Kellen Mond and was like, well, we got Kellen Mond and we got Lance. One of them's going to work out.
Yeah, exactly. I would actually think that's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah, like, he's just hanging out. Yeah, why not? Not at 43.
Hedge your bets. You know?
Yeah. There's no rule against it.
No, there's no rule against it. Like,
no.
If one of them worked out and the other one was your backup on your roster, you don't think in a couple of years another team would be willing to like
it's still an asset. Still an asset, right? Worth something. Yeah.
Remember, before Belichick traded Jimmy G, he was getting offers supposedly for first-round picks for him. Like,
yes.
what if Mon was sitting there behind Lance, and he's done well in the preseason and maybe filled in a couple of times, and like,
I love that idea.
We'll give you a first.
I love it. Hey, Kyle, if you're watching, double up. Kajon25 says wide receiver Emmer Smith Marset out of Iowa in the 4th, 6'2", crazy athlete, return man. I'm not familiar. Could be.
I don't.
Day 3 guy.
I don't. No, I don't know him. I do think there's an interesting athlete out of UCF. He's a tight end. He's like 6'5", 240-ish, and he ran like a 4.4.
That's an interesting athlete.
Yeah. Maybe he's available in the later round. Another
Jacob Harris.
Yeah, another Jalen Hurd type of guy.
Got it.
With an actual back that works.
Ooh, Jalen. He's calling you out. Man.
I hope Jalen comes back this year and is awesome. I think he'd be a great weapon for Kyle.
Yeah, me too, Jalen. We're all pulling for you, Jalen. All right. All right, man. I think that's a good primer for day 2. What?
There's some punters available. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I could. I mean, Mitch Wisnowski's about 37 now, right? They got him. He's pretty old. I don't know how old he is. Maybe 32, 29.
Punters and kickers can play a long time, right? I mean, I saw a video of Joe Montana he on Twitter, and he was like, still got it. He was throwing some balls in tires,
Dude, Jerry Rice looks great. He still looks fantastic. I think he could probably still play. Probably Jerry. Give him a shot. Also, Terrell Owens. Those two are in fantastic shape. Maybe it's the vanity. I don't know.
Remember when Herschel Walker was doing MMA? Is he still doing MMA? Like, dude looks like he's 30, like he's 32.
I don't know. He kept getting knocked out, right? Why not Quinn Miners? That's another guy in round 2 or 3 that they could take. Absolutely. Yes. Quinn Miners.
Yeah.
And I hope the Niners have one player on their team with a Z at the end of their name, because that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty Generation Z or something. Chase Shears. What's up, Chase? How you doing? Says secondary is a pressing need. No denying that, but receiver can't be overlooked. Caroline on Debo and Ayuk to stay healthy. Need to get one. Sure. They got 9 picks.
Yeah, I just don't think you should do it in rounds 2 or 3. I would do it later than that. I think
4, round 5, yeah.
Yeah.
If you need a slot receiver, you can get a slot receiver in round 5.
Yeah. And we always forget about Richie James. Like when Richie James had to play, he balled out.
He was good. Yeah. Not to mention River Craycraft.
Why can't they get your boy Ross Dwelly more balls? Why can't they use him like Jordan Reed last year? Put him in the slot.
You know what I heard, according to multiple sources, that the Niners were this close to drafting Kyle Pitts, but they were like, psh, we have Ross Dwelly. Why do we need to do that? And boom, the rest was history. Multiple sources. Multiple.
Really?
Oh yeah, so many sources. 100 sources told me that.
Ross Dwelly, if you're out there,
they're like, we really like Kyle Pitts, but he's kind of like a poor man's Ross Dwelly, so we're just going to stick with what we have. Yeah. Jordan Banks says Niners should look to draft Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State. Yeah, they want to take a running back on in round 5 with one of 3 round 5 picks. That's a good one.
Draft them later. Running back is a devalued position anyways, and the Niners are awesome at finding guys UDFA late round picks. Like their running back has literally done it his entire career. So
yeah, why would keep doing it? Yeah.
Yeah, why would you spend a pick on it when we don't need to? Let them keep doing it.
McKinnon to the Chiefs, is this real? Really?
Is it?
Wow.
We're talking about Jeff.
No waste of Kansas City's money.
Did
they see him last year? Yeah. Did they see Jerick McKinnon, 28 for the 49ers, the guy who tugboat. Okay. All right. Well, I don't have any analysis for that. Congratulations.
Maybe Andy Reid will turn him into a Pro Bowler. I don't know.
He's been doing a lot of reclamation projects at running back, and it hasn't been working out. LaShawn McCoy. Yeah. Alejandro says pick 43, Elijah Molden, Tyson Campbell, Asante Samuel. Pick 102, trade up to get either slot receiver Rondale Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Your thoughts? Those are good receivers, but we're kind of anti-receiver right here.
Yeah,
I like Richie James and Russ Dwelly. How many times do I have to say that?
I like Asante Samuel, but I do think they need a bigger corner. Just for that sake, I would tend not to go to or select him.
Yeah, my prediction is they take a big freaking corner in this draft.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah, big defensive tackle. Man, I can't wait for that. Xavier Vasquez says, I just want to see Jalen Hurd stay healthy and do something. Yeah. Well, maybe you donating to this live stream will help Jalen Hurd, well, at least inspire him. He's like, you know what? Xavier's invested. I gotta step my game up. Come on, Jalen.
He looked good in that one preseason game where he was balling out. One thing I will say that's kind of driven me nuts with the Niners over the past couple years is like their refusal to draft big receivers. And you have so many issues in red zone. Like, why not get a big target to help you there?
Because whatever solution you think you have isn't working.
Yeah.
Shay says River Craycraft is the next Adam Thielen. Maybe in my dreams, Richie doesn't get any respect. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The Adam Thielen 2.0 is what they call him from now
on the roster. Why do we need a receiver? Why is
Travis Benjamin, Mohamed Sanu? These guys are great players. I don't understand. Why don't they get any respect? Out of sight, out of mind? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, those guys could probably all River, you can change your jersey to a single number, right? Now
just be number one, like you are, the man.
But the beauty of it, right, is I don't know if you read this, but veterans can change their number, but they have to buy the stock of of your previous jersey from the reseller, right? So River, I'm sure there hasn't been a lot of River Craycraft jerseys sold.
Good point. But someone like DeAndre Hopkins couldn't do it. He'd have to pay millions of dollars to change it. Jeez. Dang. That's River. You got an opportunity, man. Number one in our hearts, River Craycraft. All right, I'm gonna take a little nap before this draft pops off. Thanks a lot, Coach. Hopefully the Niners listen to us because they did yesterday and look what happened. Good things happened. Appreciate you, everyone. Be back later.
All right, guys. Have a good one.